Hey guys, welcome back. Reese here with Pursuing the Knyght Arts, and here I'm with my good friend Ian LaSpina. You guys know Ian from Knyght Errant, and Ian has some interest in learning a few things of what we're doing. So, Ian, welcome.
Thanks, Reese. Good to be here.
Now, you have never done any of Western martial arts stuff at all, right?
Very little.
Very little, okay.
Yep.
You've done some training with Bob before.
Yep, so with Bob Charette, and then previously when I lived in Pensacola for a while.
Okay. It's gonna happen. Okay, so I'm just gonna show Ian some of the mechanics, some of the basics and stuff, and then we're gonna work through some of the techniques that Ben and I have been working through with Gladiatoria, and we'll have a conclusion, see what you think.
Okay.
Alright, so it's good. We're good to go. Okay, so first part we cover with Ian is proper structure. It is important to keep your back straight, feet shoulder width apart, and use your core so you'll be solid in your structure to make it more difficult for them to move you. Now, since I'm a left leg amputee, statistically I should be more unbalanced than Ian, but you'll see he has a difficult time moving me because I'm using proper structure. Alright. So what you don't want to do is lean into your attacks, right? Even if you're striking, most people get caught off with trying to, if they're at a distance, lean in to reach, to be able to get that point. But now I'm not structurally sound, so he can simply overpower me. So if I'm out here like this, push down on me, now I have no structure. If I get in a position here in your armpit, I can either couch it like this, or place it in my chest.
Okay.
And from here, I'm trying to compress that soft tissue.
Right.
So I can go with a gathering step to bring my back foot forward. Okay. And keep walking back. Right?
Yeah.
And the same thing here, which I prefer this one, this fourth guard. Same thing. And what's fun, too, is that I can actually, with the point up, I can throw you off balance a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So let's say you get a point of my armpit. Bam!
Okay.
Now you can either have it couch to your hip.
I'll try the hip first.
Okay, sit first, then move your back blade forward. See how that's arching my whole posture?
Yeah.
Right? And just keep going. Alright, keep going.
In harness, we use a gathering step to maintain structure while advancing into your opponent, while at the same time adding your body behind the strike to compress the soft tissue beneath the male, and if he suddenly resists you, you're positioned to revert back into a balanced stance, also known as die wage.
Alright, so we just went through some of the basic mechanics with footwork, posture with Ian, and I showed him the mechanics behind couching your point into what we call fourth guard. So now I'm going to show Ian what Ben and I learned with Gladiatoria for the counter to get out of a couched armpit strike. Again. 2, 3. Now you're going to pop, move your forearm a little bit closer to me. I'm sorry, like you're in a bind. Okay. You do this. Forward. Yep, see it pops out there? Now first that, yep. And now go into fourth guard. 1, 2. Yep. Bam. Yep. 3. Dip underneath. Yep. And I will try to get out of it. Here's a fun technique. For when you're in a bind, you can grab your opponent's blade to create an opening to their armpit by moving it aside.
Okay.
And a counter to this technique is to revert to a higher guard to break against their thumb. More on this in future videos. Now I'm going to show Ian Zucken, or the twitch. When you get to the height of pressure, the stronger you're going to push back, the better it is for me.
Right.
So if I push back here, you push back. See, now you're starting to your body turn, right? And we know, since you're more top heavy, you're now unbalanced. So I can potentially throw you.
Yeah.
So I'll do it a couple times, and I'll have you do it to me.
Okay.
So I'll push against here, you cover center. Back. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Just go lower. Yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, bam. Awesome. All right, guys. So we just wrapped it up with Ian here. Ian was a good sport. It was really cool to kind of try to strike the various openings of his harness. He's a lot more covered than I am, for sure. But yeah, what'd you think, Ian?
It's a lot of fun. It's very exhausting. You know, I exercise all the time. I run a lot, ride bikes, all that stuff, and it's the best thing to prepare you for conditioning in harness is conditioning in harness.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, you're using different muscles.
Yeah.
You don't normally use with lifting weights and whatnot. So, but a big part of it is, if you keep up good posture, you're not leaning into it. You're using your structure behind it.
Yeah.
You're not having to use muscles. So, in the treatises they talk about how when you're in harness, you should try to conserve your energy. And this is why, if you're studying harness fetching, you see it's very minimal movements. It's nothing big, crazy thing. So working through Zucken, very little movement, and then has a really good effect. Just working on the timing and understanding that feeling.
Yeah.
So
you can probably see the difference between me as somebody who's just learning it, and Reese as somebody who's drilled it a million times. I was probably making my movements way bigger than they needed to be, which in turn throws off my targeting. It makes me more tired than I need to be, whereas somebody who's done it a lot, you're doing it with much better technique, and it helps you in every way that it can.
Yeah, definitely. So hope you guys liked what you saw. Really appreciate Ian taking the time to do this video with us. I know you guys were asking for it quite a lot. But as always, if anything you guys want to learn about the medieval armor, the history, its function, definitely check out Ian's channel at Knyght Errant. We'll have his information down below in the description. So, as always, guys, if you like what you see, be sure to share the video, give us a like, and let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys next video. Take care.
Hey guys, I'm Ian from Knyght Errant. Firstly, Ben and Reese, thank you very much for inviting me over to your channel to speak a little bit. And as you guys saw, I just had an opportunity to take a half-sword lesson from Reese at the most recent Days of Knights. So I've known these guys for a little while now. I think I first met Reese in person a little over 3 years ago at a previous Days of Knights, and then I met Ben at a subsequent Days of Knights. But this was the first chance I had to actually take a lesson from them. So I had a really great time, and I wanted to talk about some of the things that I found interesting, and I think you guys might find interesting. So probably the most important thing is for me anyway, that left the most impression on me, was how important body structure is when you are fighting in armor. So now, when you're wearing armor, even properly well-fitted armor of a proper historical weight and all that stuff, it inevitably shifts your center of gravity up. Your center of gravity is always going to be higher in armor than when you're walking around in plain clothes, and because of that, balance can become an issue, and it can be exploited, especially when you're talking about in kind of a combative setting. And having Reese there to kind of guide me and show me how almost imperceptible changes in the way that you kind of lean your upper body can translate to a huge difference in how solid that structure is, not only in your ability to properly deliver technique, but also to resist technique. And I found that really cool, especially during the little drill where we were kind of shoving each other around. And you could see, like, if you lean forward a little bit, all of a sudden you're like negligibly easy to move out of place. But when you really solidify that structure and keep your center of gravity where it needs to be, you're a lot more difficult to move. And it's something that's kind of hard to appreciate when you haven't done it. And I found that to be really interesting. And it's my understanding too that in the future, Ben and Reese really hope to be able to travel to different events, instructional events, and if people like you are interested in learning this kind of stuff, I highly encourage you, if you find yourself in the same area and you have the time, the inclination, and some of the equipment to get out and make yourself known to these guys and take a lesson, get involved, because that's really the best way to go about it if you want to learn, is to just do it. Thank you guys, Ben and Reese, for giving me the opportunity to take a lesson from you. I had a great time. Most of the time at these events, I end up getting swamped with so many people that all I really do is stand around in armor and talk about armor. So thank you very much for the opportunity to actually use it for a little bit. I owe you guys, and I look forward to hanging out again. And thank you to Ben and Reese's audience for listening to me ramble on here. So thanks. I'll see you guys later. Bye.